You're joining the Loudr Lawyer Network, the podcast where we sit down with the law firm owners, attorneys, and visionaries that are making the most noise in the legal landscape nationwide to find out the secrets to their success. Other podcasts think they're getting loud, but we're getting louder. Let's get into it.
Hi, welcome to the Loudr Lawyer Network, where we help attorneys scale to million-dollar months through powerful strategies and connections. And today I have Valerie Willis, RN, BSN, Esquire. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Now, Valerie, I was looking at your resume, if you will, and it is just so it's just so filled with everything. I kind of call you the swift knife or a jack of all trades, if you will. Like you just have everything covered across the board. Can you take me back to the moment of how this whole journey started? Because I know that you're a nurse by trade, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse by trade. And I had a moment of epiphany that I wanted to do more with my nursing license. And most of my friends were becoming nurse practitioners, doctors, and other types of nursing fields. But my husband is a police officer and he helps people in that capacity. Actually, he's a state trooper.
Wow.
And it made me think the law, nursing and law, I think I can do something with law. So I wanted to go back to law school. I wanted to go to law school instead of doing something in nursing. And a lot of people kept asking me, why are you going to law school? Why don't you go to nursing school to get a master's or do something else in nursing or get a PA? And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to do something in law because I think it'll be a great collaboration together with healthcare and helping people in that way. And then also with the law. And also I can do it in conjunction with my husband. And we want to call it love and law.
Love and law. So how does it? Him being a state trooper, he comes up on how does that work?
He knows a lot about the law. He's an investigator. He works behind the scenes. He does undercover work, investigating fraud, doctors, people in the healthcare that are distributing, pills or drugs to the community. He does a lot. And I just thought it would be a great collaboration with the two of us. And that's what pushed me towards law.
Wow, that's amazing. I see that you handle bankruptcy, personal injury, estate planning, criminal defense, family law, all those things together. What made you specifically hone in on personal injury?
Personal injury as a nurse, I kind of know a lot about people who get into injuries and they have attorneys and the attorneys are not returning their calls. They don't provide transparency on the amount they're getting back. The customer service is horrible. They don't get enough of what they need for their injury. They walk away with not enough money or they're still having the injuries and they're not able to go to the doctor. They can't afford it. And it's just, I want to make sure that they're getting everything they need after their injury. And I feel like personal injury would be something that I would be good at.
Take me back to the moment when you had your first personal injury case. All right, man, you know what? How long have you been an attorney? When did that start?
I'm going to surprise you. I've been an attorney for 4 months.
Wow, that is surprising.
I've been an attorney for 4 months and it's been a whirlwind. And I'll tell you this. I've had a little bit of all those things: personal injury, family law, estate planning, and a bankruptcy.
Wow.
I'm already practiced. I'm already I'm part of the practice in Northern District of Bankruptcy Court, which is the
Okay.
Dallas area. I have
Okay.
the Eastern District, which is the Beaumont area of Texas, and I'm in the Southern District, and I'm working on the Western District right now.
So you're kind of like kicking doors down from the onset.
I'm
I
not
mean,
sitting back.
that is impressive. That really is
Yes.
impressive. I mean, so 4 months, um, the world doesn't really know about you yet. So you're just getting started. You're like a baby busting out and ready to just breathe over everything.
Yes. Yes. The bankruptcy came about because my aunt heard that I passed the bar in October, and she asked me to come to her office, and I started working that day. She said she needs help with bankruptcy. She wants to retire, hand me her clients. So, boom, I inherited a bankruptcy firm,
Wow.
and I've been doing that since October.
Wow. The gifts that just keep giving.
Just keeps giving.
Can you share about what your since you're 4 months in, what was your personal injury case? What was that?
It was actually a family member. Um, they entrusted me with their care. They had a personal injury at the car wash.
Mm,
Yeah, someone at the car wash hit him at the car wash. And we handled it. He actually doesn't even live here in Houston. And we handled it for him, and he was so grateful because he said he called around and he didn't get calls back. No one called him back. They said, "Oh, but that's not enough. It's not a truck. You know, we want an 18-wheeler accident or something big." Well, I'm here for the small people who can't get a good attorney.
right.
I'm here for the average person, the average Joe who calls up an attorney with a problem and they say, "Oh, that's not enough money to handle." I
Mm,
don't That's what I'm here for, to provide service for someone who can't really afford a high power attorney, but they need help.
right.
So
And as you know,
that's
attorneys, it's not about affording them, it's about where an attorney's heart is, because most attorneys in personal injury, they don't get settlement or they don't get money or anything until a settlement is reached. So most of the
that's
time,
right.
an attorney is putting their services out front, making sure that everything is good. So the fact that you're looking at cases, what you just spoke on right now is it's like an ad right there, like who you are that came across just truthful and honest, and that's how every attorney should be.
Yeah,
What you
that's
what
the honest truth, is that I want to be available to everyone and not just someone that had a large accident and that's going to have a big settlement. The small settlements count too. The small people count as well.
No,
And I'm here
absolutely,
for them.
absolutely, that's really good. So tell me, where did you go to law school?
Oh, I want to give a shout out to South Texas College of Law Houston. That's where I went to law school, downtown Houston.
Oh, nice, nice. How was that
Yes.
experience? How was that experience?
It was a wonderful experience, and to be honest with you, I was very sad to leave. You spend all your time going to school day in and day out. You're there for years, and that day comes when you don't have to go there anymore. But this is been your routine for the last 2, 3 years. And it's
Wow.
kind of sad. And I pass by there sometimes and I reflect. And I've been up there a few times since then. Because I believe in resources. You got to reach out. I still reach out to the school for resources, and they are very helpful and they provide lots of resources to alumni.
Mm. Tell me how it was balancing. You're a nurse, working. You still have to work in order to take care of family. You're, a loving wife. Are you a mother?
I'm not. I'm not a mother. I was a pediatric nurse because I love kids. However, I do not have kids. I've been running all over the place and I never settled down to have children yet.
So tell me how did you balance law school and being a nurse, working and taking care of things all at the same time?
When
How
I
was
went
that
to law
experience?
school, excuse me, when I went to law school, I went part-time.
Okay.
So I would work during the day. I'd get off at 5, and my classes start at 6 o'clock, and I would be there from 6 to 10.
Mm,
And that was during the week. And of course, I had homework I would spend my weekends doing homework and just studying the law. And I would, when I got close like to final time, you know, I had a job that had flexibility to where I could take off and work, from school sometimes.
mm.
Yes.
That's that's a lot to be juggling. That shows your mental strength and the things that you have going forward.
And I tell you, I couldn't have done it without the s- support of my family, my husband, who had to eat out plenty of times because I was never home to cook. But he supported me. And my family who told me, you can do it, you got this, my mother, my father, I had lots of support friends. So support did help.
Right. So I want to go back to something you said. So you've been a lawyer for 4 months, and
Mhm.
you're the two things that you have, bankruptcy and uh, uh, personal
Personal
injury,
injury.
are family members that came in, right? So it came through way of family. So being out 4 months, how do you expect to go about getting business? What have you thought about marketing wise and things of that nature?
I'm glad you asked that. Well, my aunt has a clients, many, many clients, and we send out marketing to them. I send out letters to them. Hey, there's a personal injury person in the office. And she's been in business for so long, 40 years, that she's getting the great grandkids and grandkids of her clients.
What type
So
of business do your aunt have? I'm sorry.
the bankruptcy.
Okay.
Bankruptcy firm. So she's getting their families coming to her. So she's constantly getting, repeat business. So she sent out a letter to all of her clients letting them know, hey, I got a personal injury attorney in my office. So that's a huge clientele right there. And I've gotten calls from that. And then a lot of it is just posting on Facebook. I went to the Lawyer Summit and I posted my very first podcast. I've got so many calls from that.
Mm,
I've never done a podcast, and they told me, post this on your social media. Somebody's going to call you. And they did. So it's just all about stepping out and putting yourself out there.
right. Um, as your journey is 4 months old, and you're right, that was a big surprise. Four, 4 months old. What have been some of the hurdles that you've had to get over, um, from the personal injury point of view, as you've worked with the insurance companies and the doctors and things of that nature? How has that process been in terms of dealing with the client?
Dealing with a client has been great. It's To be honest with you, it's a lot like dealing with patients in the hospital. You have to adapt to how they're feeling that day or how you just have to adapt. So customer service is customer service. The only thing has been the learning curve is like, I want to know everything all at once.
Right.
And it just takes time. You just gotta, resource. You gotta reach out to people. You gotta find your resources in the community, and you gotta learn.
Right. So,
Um,
and not to interrupt you, so the
right.
resources in the community that you're talking about is you got to find doctors that are going to take care of what that injury was. Like with your particular your client that you had right now. Uh, how did you go about getting them health care and letting them see providers and things of that nature?
To,
What was your process?
to be honest with you, I went to the Trial Lawyer Summit. We asked a lot of people. We had lots of dinners with different attorneys, and some would say this, some would say that. Some wouldn't really would tell you nothing. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, but they don't tell you. I went
Right.
to the Trial Lawyer Summit in Miami during the freeze. And I learned so much. I learned so much. I found networks and communications and people who could help me put stuff together, connect
Mm-hmm.
me with the doctors and the medical team that I needed for my personal injury. They helped me I just make a call and they set it all up for me.
Mm.
And so that was a way. Another way was that I've guess because of my website and in my I put what all I do on the bar. I've been getting people stop by my law office and they've dropped off cars. We do chiropractic. We have MRI stations set up for you, for
Nice.
personal injury attorneys. So they've been reaching out to me.
Nice.
And so it's just I've been blessed. It's been falling in my lap, falling into place. I'm just getting this system set up.
Mm. So everything's rolling. What do you see? What do you see moving forward in terms of like what are you gonna handle all the things? Are you gonna hone in specifically on PI?
I won't be as probably I won't handle everything. I would have other people to handle certain things that I see there a need for,
Right.
but I want to pretty much stick with the bankruptcy and the PI.
Bankruptcy and PI.
Yes,
So you're looking to bring on other attorneys and stuff
I
to work in
am.
your firm. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Who
A
have
force to be
the same
reckoned with.
interests. Yes, to have that have the same interests that I have. Because I know there's people out there like me. But I just, if you don't have my interests, you're not trying to help the community. You're not looking for the small man that doesn't have the 18-wheeler accident. They just need help with, their car that got hit at the car wash or up the street, and the insurance is telling them we're not going to give you the insurance. We're not going to tell you we're not going to process your claim. They're doing that now. They're telling my poor cousin, they told him, we're not going to process your claim. We're not going to even give you the insurance information. We can't find it. Take us to court.
That's happening right now, or that happened?
Yes, that's happening now.
And how are you responding to that?
Take him to court.
I,
Yep.
I love I love something that struck me about reading about you is your legal advocacy rooted in integrity, compassion, and cultural understanding. Can you explain uh, to those that may be listening, what do you mean by the cultural understanding?
Cultural understanding is more in relation to my background. I was born in the Philippines. I grew up as a Navy brat. I've lived in Cuba. I graduated high school in Cuba. I
Mm,
lived in Spain and Italy. My dad took us everywhere. And I've been around a lot of cultures, a lot of different type of cultures, a lot of people,
mm.
and I can understand, I can relate. I have a different mindset when it comes to meeting people. I'm very open. I'm always open-minded. So I'm not a closed-minded person at all.
So being cultural understanding, you're able to understand. You just mentioned the different countries that you've been in will really make you know pulling that into your practice make you available for everyone. I mean,
Yes.
I think that's a big selling point in being able to show that what you just spoke on right now is huge. You're full of surprises. You're full of surprises, and I'm seeing all these things that you're speaking about where you can put these into your marketing, into telling them about yourself, into actually having that on your socials, and however you go about telling that story, telling your story of where you are. I think is a very important thing, and that's what here at Loudr Media, that's what they specialize in putting that together, bringing you up front and center. So I think
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. It really is. I'm here for I'm here for the small people. I'm here for the people who need an attorney to help them, and they feel like they can't reach the big attorneys, and I'm just here for the small man.
as you said, clear paths and confident decisions. You
Yeah.
stand by that.
Yeah, I do.
Um, Tell me about I was looking at how this plan that you came up with, like with you and your husband. You said you wanted to call what is it, Love and Law?
Yes.
Tell me,
Yes.
paint a picture of what that would look like.
Love and Law is a brand that I'm developing right now. You don't really see um marriage 25 years
25
between
years, congratulations.
a husband and a wife. He's working for me. I'm the attorney and he's my paralegal. And we're collaborating together, working together as a team. You see, you see father and son, you see
Uh,
siblings, but you don't see married couples working together. And we've run businesses together for a couple of years now. We've had a daycare, EMS, and the law. So we just said love and law. He's the
you
reason
guys
why I
have
got
done
into
daycare
this.
too?
I love children. I had a daycare.
Wow. You've literally covered the whole spectrum of what it is in the work field and knowing people. And I think the fact that you've tied these things together, given your background, seeing where individuals have come into the hospital that have been sick. You've seen what insurance companies do. You've seen every angle where there's been things where people are disadvantaged.
Yes,
So I think all of these things that paved the way for you to be an attorney, because an attorney, as you know, you're standing there dealing for the individual and their needs and being able to go out and speak for them, knowing what pitfalls they're going to fall into, I think gives you the advantage over a lot of attorneys because you've had the moment before. Or like to say you've been in the healthcare field, you've participated in that field in being of service to individuals, giving, and I think that should be a very big component of your law practice moving forward.
I agree. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. Tell me about take me back to, since you've had all these things, take me back to the moment. What led you to get into healthcare? My father's a physician. My dad is he's an addiction specialist.
Mm,
He treats people with substance abuse use, and it's it's been a road that's taken him all over. Tell me, and he knew since he was 5 years old that he wanted to be a doctor. Like
oh,
he knew that he wanted to help individuals. What led you to get into health?
well, I knew whatever I was gonna do was gonna be involving the community and servicing the community. I've been servicing the community since I was 12 years old. On the naval base, my dad always had a job. I was a babysitter. I worked as a youth center. When I was 16, they made me a manager at a youth center. So I took care of after school kids. When I graduated high school, I moved here to Houston, and my aunt was a nurse, and she used to do a lot of home health, and sometimes I would go out with her, and I watched her take care of patients, and of course, I took care of children. I just love servicing the community. So I always knew I wanted to. I watched her, and I said I want to be a nurse. So I went to nursing school, and I became an LVN first, and I worked in the allergy and asthma industry with kids. I used to give allergy shots. And then after that, I said, I think I can do more. And I went back to school and got my RN, and I got
Mm,
a bachelor's. After I got the bachelor's, continued to work, home health, hospital. I've always had two or three jobs. I always was a go-getter. Never had one job. Even at 12, I'd never had one job.
wow.
And I, said, midway through my career, I can do more. Watching, my husband help people. He did take people to jail, but it was people who needed to go to jail. And he helped people, and he protected the community. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna collaborate this and put it together. And we're gonna work together, in our later years in love and law.
So
We're
you've
gonna
been
do this.
you have I like to say that the Holy Spirit is working inside of you, leading you in different directions. I mean, everything that I live by faith, and I saw looking at your profile, I saw the cross that you had in your picture and stuff, and I take it you're a woman of faith, if I'm not speaking out of context. But to see you see something, wanting to be of service, and just getting out there doing, like taking you're soaking up all the knowledge, learning about stuff. You got 2 different degrees in nursing. You have a law degree, passing the bar. Did you pass the bar on your first try?
I did not. I did not, but I'm not one to give up. I'm not a person to give up.
When did you pass the bar?
I just passed it in October.
Oh, okay. Wow. That is
And I
impressive.
believe anyone can do anything you put your mind to. And if you don't get it the first time, you never, ever give up. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. Not at all.
And I never give up with anything. If someone tells me no, I will do my best to figure out how to get out or how to get a yes.
Yeah, so right now you're preparing to go to court for your first PI case. Everything is your first PI case. Do you have any
Yes.
cases in the funnel right now?
Can't tell.
Anybody else come to you?
Oh yeah, I have several. I do. They're in the works right now as we speak.
And you're handling all that. Do you have any assistants or anybody helping you?
Um, my paralegal slash husband, and I have and I have some other assistants as well, friends.
Very nice. So on this show, I ask people, uh, regardless of their field they're in, attorneys or people that are assistant attorneys that have companies that in that field. Um, what is a lawyer, when you hear the term Loudr Lawyer, what does Loudr Lawyer mean to you?
Louder lawyer, what it means to me is what's gonna make you stand out and set you apart from other lawyers. And for me, um, a louder lawyer, and this is to me what stands out for me, and I think it stands out in any kind of business, is being honest, doing what you say you can do, transparency, communication, but not just communication, effective communication, to where you're updating your clients, you're talking to your clients, you're making them feel better about the situation, and just overall being a human. Like, a lawyer is almost like a counselor.
Yeah.
These people need you. You gotta be there for them. And you gotta be honest about, what's happening, what's going on. Be transparent. And you don't see that very often.
No.
You could have the I'm sorry, you could have I'm the best, I have the best commercial, I have the best hook, I have the best uh you could law office, glitz and glamour. But if you're not transparent, you're not effectively communicating, you don't answer the phone, you don't return calls, you push people aside, you don't make them feel like they're important. They spent their last money to retain you. You make sure they're getting their money's worth. That's what stands out to me.
Mm. Um, on the retain, remember the they don't pay any money until until a case is recovered. Like, if someone has you, they're not going to give you any money unless there's nothing paid out if there's no settlement.
Right.
Right. So in sense, signing up with you for that purpose of you coming through A to Z, everything you just mentioned, everything you mentioned. Also, a Loudr Lawyer, what we say here is being involved in the community. supporting the local businesses, letting people know that, like what you went out and done with reaching out to get the resources, the chiropractors, things of that nature. Maybe you sponsor, you love children, sponsoring a Little League team, soccer team, all of those type of things is not only being loud inside the court, but being loud outside of the court in your community, which you seem to know very well. You've been there on all facets of it. And I think
Yes,
that's amazing. I think that you're going to do wonderful, wonderful things.
that's the
Absolutely.
plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Love and law. Wow. Well, I thank you, Valerie Willis, for
Thanks
being.
for having me.
Yes, yes. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Valerie, let the people know they've heard all these wonderful things about you and what you do. Do you have a way where people can get a hold of you? They want to.
Yes, yes. Please reach out to me at valeriewillislawfirm.com. And my address is 6161 Savoy Drive, Suite 250, Houston, Texas, 77036. And you can also call me at 832-396-2427. Again, 832-396-2427. And my Instagram is Valerie Willis Law Firm, or Valeria of Houston is my Instagram.
There, you've heard it, guys. Valerie, 4 months in, and you're gonna be you're paving the streets, painting them as you go along, kicking butt,
Very
taking
nice.
names and numbers.
That's right. Love and law.
Hey, thank you so much for being on Loudr Lawyer Network. Look forward to working with you too. I gotta get you in touch with the guys with Loudr. I think they could help you a great deal in
Absolutely.
stages,
I'm
right?
looking forward to it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a part of the Loudr Lawyer Network. If you're enjoying the conversation, let us know. Give us a like and subscribe to never miss a thing. We'll see you next time right here on the Loudr Lawyer Network.